Hey guys, I hope your summer has been off to a great start. So a few weeks ago I put out a question box on my Instagram, and if people had any questions, ask me and I would make a YouTube video answering all of your questions. So here we are, and I thought, why not video with the girls? They're all tucked in the shade on their pasture and they're nice and cozy, so I thought I would make a video with them and get to answering all the questions. I don't know how Rue thinks this is gonna work, but you can't stand right in front. If you can just like slide over a little bit, Rue, you can slide over like this. So I have my fancy little sheet, and you can really tell that math was not my strong suit this year. I had to write down and calculate all of the hours for one of the questions. Rue. Anyways, you can really tell that math is not my thing because I'm sure some of these calculations were really wrong. Honey, stop chewing my finger. But we have an answer, and I'm pretty sure it sounds close to correct, so I'm counting that as a win. The first question was, how big of a flock are you looking to get up to? Currently, I would like to say that I would eventually like to get my flock number up to like 50 head of breeding animals, but I was told that I can't get more sheep until I move out, so that will be still a few more years down the road before I get up to that number. And of course, Rue will stay here. You will stay, Rue. The next question was, why did you choose sheep? I started with sheep in the fall of 2020, and I think the reason that I was so drawn to sheep was partially because of how small they are and easy to work with, but also how friendly and lovable they are. They're really great animals to be around. They have such great personalities. I find they're a lot more interacting with humans than other animals, or at least than animals I have been raised with, comparatively to hogs and cattle and poultry. They have much more bigger personalities, and they like to share those personalities. And what is on your head? All right. You made me lose my train of thought, but that's fine because you're cute. This next question was the question that I was like kind of stuck on, because I am definitely no math expert, and you can tell that based off of my math grades that I get, but we don't talk about that. I still passed, so that's okay. So the question was, about how many hours a week would you say being a sheep farmer your flock size takes? This is where I had to really calculate, and I'm not sure if my calculations are fully correct, but we have an answer and it sounds close to what I would probably spend. Just say it's correct. So I spend about 15 minutes every day hauling water. So that is filling up water buckets and taking them to each pasture. So that equals to about an hour and 45 minutes a week hauling water. I spend 45 minutes a day setting up electric fence, so moving electric fence and setting up electric fence in new paddocks. So that is about 5 hours a week setting and taking down electric fence, moving it all for the sheep. I spend about 20 minutes a day bringing in the animals from pasture and giving grain every night, so that equals to 2 hours and 20 minutes a week. And it takes me about 20 minutes each morning to take the lambs and the ewes out to pasture, which equals 2 hours and 20 minutes. If my calculations are correct, I spend about 11 hours and 25 minutes caring for my flock. So that's hauling water, setting up electric fence, bringing in animals each night and giving grain, and taking them to electric in the mornings, I think. And then any other extra thing would be added on top, but this is on a normal weekly basis. I think Gwen agrees that it's around that, right, girl? The next question was, what's your best technique for breaking hides? Personally, when I break my hides, I use a wooden spoon, and I also use hockey sticks. So if you use the handle of the hockey stick, it's got the little like kind of square shape to it. That also works really good. I know I have a dry scraper coming in the mail, so I'm excited to try that out, but I've just been using wooden spoons and they've worked really well. They do snap very easily. I have snapped a few before, but they work really well, so. She's like, I'm out of here, you're talking about hides. Next question, what are the advantages of registering and why register? Stop eating the paper. Why register some and not others? The only way you can register, stop eating the paper. Honey is kind of annoying right now. Will you just stay here? Okay, what I was saying is the only way you can register a sheep is if the parents are both registered. So in the case, I guess in the case of most sheep besides Navajo Trails. Rue! Oh, now we're fighting. Guys, women are crazy. Coming from a woman. You have moved. Again. And so far they seem like they're going to leave me alone. So I'm counting that as a win. In the case of Icelandics, to register your sheep, both of the parents have to be registered to register your lamb. But for Navajo churros, as long as they meet up to breed expectations, Honey wants to share she's a Navajo churro. As long as they meet up to breed expectations, they can be registered. The benefits of registering your sheep means that stop going back to the phone! You can see their genetics, so you can ensure that you are not doing any inbreeding. Sky, you're also pissed. Oh, you guys are annoying. So you can ensure you aren't doing any inbreeding, and it also gives you opportunity to bring in the best possible genetics to your farm and to ensure that they have really good productivity in the future. Reasoning behind why, if your animals are able to be registered but you happen to not register them, is because if for some reason the breeder feels like they don't meet up to breed expectations and they don't think that the animal should be registered and carry forward those genetics or something like that. If it's a fiber wether or pet wether, usually people will not register them just because they don't find there's much point in registering them if they are not going to be used for breeding. Next question was, what's your favorite part about raising sheep? There is a lot of really great parts in raising sheep that are very enjoyable and I quite enjoy. Say my favorite part is watching the ewes become moms and watching them just go through all the phases from, especially it's my favorite thing when I raise them from babies, like they were babies born on my farm. I raised them and I bred them right here, and then I got to watch them go through pregnancy, go through lambing, and become a mom. That has to be one of the best things in the world. To watch an animal that you put so much work into, to see them become a mom and watch their babies thrive is amazing, especially when they're your bottle babies. That is even more better. Melts my little grandma heart. Sky had to come over. She's like, you raised me, so I need to be the spotlight. We all know Sky. We all know. Don't worry. Even Honey, she's like, you raised me and you bred me, so I need to be here. But the next question was, how long does it take to make dryer balls? This was another thing that I would really have to use my super awesome math skills to figure out exact calculations. It takes me about, I'd say a total of 2 days from start to finish on the wool, everything wool. So to go from skirting the fleeces, washing it, so cool soak, warm soak, and drying the fleece takes about 2 days total. Carding it takes about roughly an hour to 2 hours for every single fleece. Then felting, like rolling them up into the balls and felting, probably takes about another 45 minutes. I don't know. For my math skills are really awesome, so I'd say it probably takes about 2.5 days if I was to go straight, or each day put together probably takes about that much to get it from start to finish. But if we're talking about just dryer balls, like felting the dryer balls, it takes me about 10 minutes per ball-ish. I've done it so many times that it's just kind of like embedded in my head. don't come to me for more questions. What got you started in sheep? My sheep journey started in the fall of 2020. My parents had purchased a flock of bred Navajo Trail ewes in the previous spring. They had decided that fall that they didn't want to continue with sheep, and throughout the course of the summer I had fallen in love with the sheep and I was not ready to let the sheep go. I begged them to let me keep a few of my favorites, and they let me keep 2 of the mature ewes and 5 of the initial ewe lambs that were born that spring. Kind of started from there. So the following spring I brought home my first Icelandic ram, and of course once you get ram you have to get a ewe, so then I brought home Gwen, and then I decided I need more, so then I brought home 4 more, and then the following year I got more, and then I got more, and now I'm at 18 Icelandic ewes. So kind of just sprouted a little bit. It was because of my parents that sparked my interest in sheep and really got me to wanting to get more sheep. The last question was, how did you start tanning hides? We butchered our first lambs in the spring of 2021. We had gotten their hides sent off to a tanner to be tanned, and I decided I wanted to take it on myself to learn how to tan, so I did end up tanning 2 of the hides from those 5 lambs. I purchased a tanning guidebook, like a printable one, and I purchased some small tanning equipment, and I set off to learn from there. So it was kind of like, took me a few hides to fully master it. It's definitely a work that you have to be very determined to work hard at it, because if there happens to be a step that you don't spend enough time on, it could potentially kind of go forward in the result of your hide. Using the hide was something that I really wanted to be able to do. So after having the opportunity to tan 2 of those hides, I definitely was very interested and decided to learn more about it. And it was then that, ouch, this guy just bit my toe. Ow, that I wanted to learn how to do it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. You can find me on social media at Prairie Shepherdess, and my website is prairieshepherdess.ca. My orders head out every Tuesday, so if there's anything you'd like, pop over to the website and put in your order before Tuesday. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or evening or wherever you're watching this, and I'll see you later.